Alright, it's 1:30. We begin? Yes?
Yes.
Alright. Now, I'm going to give you the agenda for today. Okay? So you and me, we know exactly when we need to go to the toilet. Yes? Alright. First, we're going to do a review. And the review is on first in our agenda. Review absorption costing. Yes, marginal costing is easy. Okay. How will I do absorption costing review? I will give you a question, okay? A scenario. We are going to use the Excel spreadsheet to answer this scenario, okay? Then, we are going to continue talking about activity-based costing. And we discussed the basics of it yesterday, correct? Today, we are going to review the steps. Yes. Then we will practice using a scenario. In other words, this is a question, okay? All right. And then we end with, all right, any other issues? Okay, so advantages, criticisms about activity-based costing. Okay? Now, that will lead us into the break. I don't know, we'll see. Because the next topic is about target costing. And last but not the least, in target costing, we will discuss, okay, what is it all about? And we will do some question exercise here. Okay? So we'll calculate again. We go to introduction to throughput accounting. Why introduction? Because I don't think we will have the time to finish everything. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you is the program for today. Okay? Alright, so okay? So in between there, I'll give you a break. Got that? Clear? Okay. So we begin with some exercises. Okay, this is our agenda. Okay? Hold on. Let me put that agenda on the screen once I distribute the question. Alright? Please get one and pass. Please. Thank you. In the meantime, I will assign it on Google Classroom while you're doing that. All right. All right, so now whoever is in Google Classroom is there. All right, so, okay, so what do you have? Look at the two requirements below. Yes? The first requirement says calculate, correct? Calculate the what? Okay. Budgeted full production cost. What does it mean, full production cost? What is the cost of a product? What makes up the cost of a product? What makes up the cost of a product? Material cost, labor cost, overhead, production. What it says is full production cost. Includes overhead. Do you understand? That's what it means. All right. So that is what it means. So the verb in this particular in its instruction is calculate. Okay. Calculate. All right. The next thing is full production cost. Means you have materials, labor, and overhead. Agree? Okay. Per unit of each product, which means there is more than one. Correct? So when you say each product, because I have not read the question yet. Do you see where I went first? I went to the requirement first. So when I read the question, I already know what information to get. Alright? So, each product of this company. Now, using the current method of what? Absorption. Why? Because your overhead has to use this method. Correct? Alright? Now, very important. All working should be rounded off to 2 decimal places. So it's 0.00. Correct? Yes? Okay. Now, there's 3 marks each because it's very simple. Alright? The letter B requirement, we will do this a little bit later on. Okay? Because this requirement is using what? What is it using? Activity based. We'll do that later. So in the meantime, we're going to do number 1. So let's go to the scenario. Okay? Okay, as we predicted, there are more than one product, correct? Okay. Now I will give you 5 minutes or 2 minutes to read the scenario. Can you read it? Then I will ask questions to see if you understood the scenario. Okay? In the meantime, whilst reading the scenario, you can highlight the important information you need. Because you know the requirement, correct? So, if you know full production cost, you told me materials, so you need to look for material cost, correct? You told me labor, so look for labor cost. You talked to me about overhead, then look for overhead cost. The only thing is, today you have a piece of paper you can write on. But when it comes to your actual exam, you don't have this piece of paper, correct? You have the screen, and that's why we need to practice that, yes? So how do I take notes if there's nothing to highlight? Yes? So, can you highlight on the computer? Okay, so, but at least we know now what things to highlight, okay? The tool will do it later. For example, here, you can highlight here, right? Why can you have share? Yeah, because this is yours. No? You have seen that. You can download from the screen, you know? So you download from the screen and open it, you download from the screen. You can see it. Oh, really? Okay, let's see. Mouse. Okay, so what do you think I should do? You know that what is the requirement, correct? Yes? So, full production cost, is that correct? So when I know what is the requirement, I'm already thinking how I will present the answer. Yes? Okay. So the answer here requires me, okay? So, requirement A, it says it needs the what? It needs full full. Oh my god, it's the slowest ever stuff. Full budgeted. The keyboard is not aligned. Budgeted production. Ooh la la. Wait, I will have to get the department, the fire department. Okay. I need to check the keyboard. It hasn't been ready. Okay, so first we need to put the title, correct? Yes? Okay, okay. You know the feeling when the computer is not working with you? Yes. Okay, so the title, right? Okay, so it's asking you for full production cost. How many products? X, Y, Z. Right? Now, how do you think I will present the answer to the examiner? Yes, correct. I need to set the table, correct? Okay, so you would say X, Y, and Z. Then what will you do next? What will you write on the side? Okay, so first you have the product. Sorry, I'll complete that in a moment. So X, okay, Y, and Z. Now, do I need to center it? Do you understand? Do you need? Don't. Do you need to put in box and put highlight? Don't. It's a waste of time. Do you understand? The examiner is not testing your skill in spreadsheets. Yes? Because that takes a lot of your time. Okay? Now, why am I saying that? Because accountants are perfectionists. You understand what I just said? Accountants are perfectionists. Everything should be in boxes, highlighted, very nicely done. Yes, I understand. But we don't need that in the exam. As long as you know that there is proper columns, correct? Example here. Normally, because me, I will have to center the X, center the Y. No need, huh? No need. Okay? So, but of course, the spelling has to be correct, huh? Alright? Okay, so, alright, so then, what will be the first header? I will have to say what? Okay, working. Direct. Of course, I have to correct this, isn't it? Direct. Okay. Direct materials, correct? Wrong spelling. That one I correct. Look, look. Okay? See, I already pressed, it's not there. See. No, it's not okay. Because I press one and everything comes out. So there's a delay function, correct? So see, I already pressed, but it's not coming out. Okay, so now go. Okay. Then I say direct. I press the D, but it's not. Yeah, I know, but there's a delay. Oh, yeah, take it away. It's yours. Okay, so you know what I mean? Yes? Okay, so need to find the information, yes? And then, when it comes to the overhead, there is something you need to do. What is it that you need to do? What does the problem say? Okay, find first. Okay, can you work and find out what's the material cost? What is the labor cost in the problem? Is it given to us? Very easy, no? Yes? Okay. Now, does it say in the problem, if they are using absorption costing, what is the basis for absorption? Does it say there? Oh, it's on the top, correct? On the top it says, what does it say on the top? For many years, the company has been using full absorption and it's absorbing overhead on the basis of direct labor hour. Which means, what does it mean? Your OAR has to be what? How do I calculate OAR? Based on what? Labor hours. So I need to know two things before I can calculate the budgeted, the OAR. What do I need? Budgeted production overhead, correct? Divided by? Yes, total number of labor hours. Ooh, do we know how many hours? It's not given completely. You can calculate, correct? Yes? Okay, go. Now, you remember your study buddy? You need your study buddy now. Okay? Work with your study buddy. If you don't have the computer, you can manually write it, huh? Okay? Don't worry. Okay. Are you able to do it? One more? Good, thank you. You see? That's why I always call it. What's that? Can I leave it? This is the one for this one. Thank you. You're such a good person. Okay. Good. if I'm answering this so far, at this point, I have already the materials and labor costs because those are given, correct? Yeah, so this is what? 25, 28, 22, correct? Now, remember it says 2 decimal places, correct? Okay, so anything that I type over here must be 2 decimal places. Can I format it? Yes? Yeah, okay. 2 decimal places, good. Labor? Do we have that given? Labor hours? 30, what else? 36, what else? 24, agree? Now, the next step is OAR. What is the formula again? So you don't need to put the formula. What's the formula? Just tell me. Budgeted, okay. Budgeted overhead, correct? Yes? Do we have the budgeted overhead? How much is the total overhead, it says? 1,377,400. Is everybody looking at it? Yes, where it came from? The question is, I need to know how many labor hours, correct? I don't know that yet. Do I? I don't. Okay? So what should I do? Okay? I need to calculate the total labor hours. What should I do? Can anybody tell me very quickly? Because this particular action is 3 marks only. What did I tell you? 3 marks multiplied by how many? 2 minutes. So 6 minutes, correct? By this time, you should be done already. Yes? That's why I'm already asking you the question. Yes? It should be that fast. Alright, so what should I do? I need to know how many labor hours. So I will put in first the 1. Okay? Yes, annual production in units, correct? Okay, how many units should be produced of X? Can somebody tell me? Okay, 20,000, then? Okay, 16,000, then? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, no need for the comma to do that, okay? No need, okay? Now, what do I need to know? I need to know labor hours per... Oh, how do I get that? Yes. Labor cost per unit, which is what for X? 30. Now look where I'm doing it. I'm doing it in the formula. Yes? When you have in the exam, you just type it on the formula. No need to type the action because the marker will look at your formula bar and give you the marks. Yes? Okay? Or if you're not comfortable with formula, you can actually put your workings and type your workings. Do you understand? Use your calculator if that is fast for you. Okay? But it's easier if you know how to use the formula in the computer. Okay? But then again, if you're not, it's not something that you should be worried about. Okay? Now, 30 divided by the cost per hour. Correct? How much is the cost per hour? 12. Very good. Yes? Correct? Okay? So what about Y? Equals $36 per unit divided by 12 again. Yun? Yes? Okay, good. Next one? What's it? 24 divided by 12. Correct? Yes? Now what's the next one? I need to go to the total labor hours, correct? What should I do? Equal the top column, correct? At the top cell, right? What do I do next? Multiply by, is everybody with me? Yes? Okay, good. The number of hours is the total hour per product, yes? Okay. What do I do next? I just copy. You see? Got that? Do I need the total hours? I need the total hours, correct? So, it can be sum of, there you are here, yes? Alright? And magic. Alright? So, now I go back here. Okay, you can, there's a formula here if you like, but I can divide by what? 1, 4, 2. Okay, or you want the formula, you can. Equals 1377400, correct? Divided by what? Connect it to this cell. You see? Okay, enter. I need 2 decimal places, correct? Sorry. Okay. Yes? Yes, no. Okay, so I have my, what is this? This is the overhead per what? Per labor hour. Is that correct? Sorry. Per labor hour. Clear? What should I do now? I need information up there. Yes? Can I get it there? Easy? What should I do? Tell me the formula. Remember, I need information here. What should I do? Equals what? Equals, tell me something. Where? What? I have my OAR per hour, correct? Now I want the cost per unit. Overhead cost per unit. What should I do? Yes, multiply the what and the what? I need this, correct? And what? Why not? I need overhead per unit, correct? Let's go back. Very simple, huh? Here. Remember, it's asking you, look at the requirement. Budgeted full production cost per, remember, this is what you need. You need full production cost per unit. This is the main answer to the question. I will bold that and I will box it. Okay, so at least it highlights to the examiner that is what I'm trying to give them. Okay, I need that, right? But I need these 3 information. What should I do? Tell me. Equals, correct. Then, which box? 9.7 box, correct? Yes, okay, good. So I come here. Then what do I do next? Multiply by, okay, 2.5. Yes? You got that? Can I copy the formula? Let me see if it works. No. Why? I need to make one of them constant. But forget about that constant. It's difficult now. Correct? You just repeat it again. Yes? Just repeat it. 9 multiply by this time which? 3. Okay. But if you're an expert, you know how to do the constant because 9.7 is constant, correct? Okay. So that is easy. But nevertheless, don't worry about that. It's not easy. It's not important. So just redo it. It's very easy. Yes? Everybody agree? All right. Good. Now, all you need to do is get the total, right? Yes? Okay, total. Now, but this time, can I copy this? Copy across? Yes. All right? Yes? Question? Agree? Ladies and gentlemen here, thank you for helping. Yes? is why it's very important we come and practice with the computer, you see? Yes? Okay? I know it's a little bit heavy, but hopefully it's a good exercise to have some muscle. Yeah? What do you think? Okay? Question? Yes, correct. You understand? In absorption costing, because there's only one basis. It's the same rate per hour, but the overhead is different because everybody uses different labor hour. You understand? The OAR is one, but you understand? Okay. This is per hour, but one is 2.5, one is 3, one is 2. That is why your cost is different. The question was, is there only one cost per labor hour in overhead? The answer is yes. But the cost per in the product is different. Why is different? Because look, it uses different labor hours to make it. That is why your overhead is different. See? But the overhead cost per hour is the same one. Only one. Next question. Yes? Clear? What did we say about absorption costing? The basis for the OAR is volume, correct? Is that what happened here? The volume was represented by labor hours. It can also be number of units or number of machine hours. You understand? That's volume. Okay. Later on, you will see in activity-based costing, the basis will be different. Okay? The how we calculate. You will see later that the 9.7 is broken down by activity. You understand? It's no longer 9.7. Okay? So, absorption costing question? Clear? Okay, let's go. Let's now, can I move on? Yes? Alright. I will send this to you later, okay? I will email you this, or I'll post it in Google Classroom, okay? And then you can see the Excel spreadsheet. Hopefully it saves there. I will have to check that. Alright. Let's go back now to, okay. So what you see here in the example is that when you have absorption costing, in our example was labor hours, correct? There was one OAR for everything. Only one. This one in our example was OAR per labor hour. Yes? Okay, so let me wait until you get to your slides. You're already there? Okay, you're with me? Okay. Now, it's really hot. Is it you or is it me or is it really hot? It's hot? Oh my God. Cantik, Bob. Alright. Sorry, I need to bring it down and increase the fan, okay? Now ladies, if it gets cold, you tell me, huh? Do not suffer on your silence, huh? You have to tell if it gets too cold. You know why it's also hot? All your computers are on. It adds to the heat. Okay. And all your computer's exhaust is towards me. Yeah? Your friend in front. Okay. Alright. So OAR is one, it's based on volume. Alright. Okay. In absorption costing, okay, it's based on, okay, on volume. But in activity-based costing, what did we say yesterday? What increases the overhead in activity-based costing? You remember? In activity-based costing, the assumption is that the overheads, okay, are because the product goes through a lot of activities. Correct. Activities. Okay. So, what happens? Companies today, they make complex product that requires many activities, which we had an example yesterday. It's about the iPhone yesterday against the bottle of water, correct? Okay. The more complex product to produce is, of course, the iPhone. Now, they have more overheads compared to prime cost. What is prime cost? Direct costs. Example, materials and yes. Product ranges are diverse. Diverse means of different kinds. You understand? They make products diverse. Different kinds. Okay? The resources are actually added not because they produce more, but because the products are more complex. Yes? They don't have the machine to test the phone because it's many phones that they produce. It's just because the product is complex. They have to test. You remember test the iPhone yesterday? Correct? They have to shake the phone. They have to tap the phone. They have to have the machine to do that. Not because they make many phones, but because of the type of product that is used. Okay? So that is why they come up with activity-based costing. Okay? So, here what happens. Those who likes ABC, we'll go to dislike and dislike in a moment. Okay? What I want us to remember is the steps. It's here. Okay, what are the steps? I will go back to that slide of merits, etc. in a moment. Okay? Alright, so I will give you an example first. Okay? Let's work on this together. You remember, where is that? Where is the step? Can you find it in your handouts? What are the steps to calculate? Okay? So here, I just copy this and put it in our slide. What are the steps again? Okay? Find out is the first step. What are the activities? Correct? What are the activities and how much is the cost per activity? Right? What is then next? What you need to do? You have to identify the cost driver. Yes? And calculate cost per cost driver. Then, you actually assign it to the product based on cost drivers. Okay? Don't look at your example first. Look at my example. Go to your slide. Okay? Go to your slide. Right? And look at my example. So, okay. How many products in my example? 3 also. A, B, C. Is that what you have on your slides? Yes? Okay, good. Now, production cost overheads for Dodo company, 190,000. Yes? You have the selling price. You have the number of units. Yes? Labor hours per unit. Material cost per unit. Are we together? Found it? Wait. The best are still everybody on board. Okay, good. Now, alright, next slide. Okay? Calculate. Okay? Using, I'll finish absorption. We don't need that. Okay? So here, It says calculate using, okay, try this again. Using, we did this earlier, correct? Okay, we did the same one earlier in our example. Can you do it for this? Because it says calculate, this time, profit per unit for each product where the overhead is absorbed on the basis of labor hours. Yes? Can you do that? Okay, do it. You can do it manually if you like, if you don't want the computer. Okay? How many products again? 3. Calculate. Sorry. Who were not here? Oh, so sorry. Oh, sorry. You were here. Oh, so sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. You were not here inside? Yes. Okay, sure. Okay, so this one is all I gave yesterday. Here, take. Wait, I go to the hold on. Oh, apologies, huh? I didn't know. Hold on. Welcome. Who else? I saw I have Grace. Okay. You girls? Me. Here. Yes, correct. Introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2A. This one is on 2A. Yes? Okay. All right. Come on here. You check intro, chapter 1, chapter 2A. Okay, so product cost. So far, materials. Agree? Does it agree with yours? Yes? 5, 10, 10. Labor cost. Yes? So, is that correct? Yes? It's $2 per hour, correct? Is that correct? Okay. Now, what do we need? We need overhead, correct? So, what is your OAR? What is your OAR? We need to calculate the overhead. Agree? Okay, so in terms of overhead, we need to work on it, right? Okay, so what is the working unit? What did we do earlier? We needed to know what's the basis here. What is the basis for the OAR? Number of what? Labor Hours. Okay, so we need to work on the labor hours, right? Yes? So how many hours? So A, B, C again. Agree? Is this the number of labor hours per unit? Yes or no? Good. Next. What do I do next? What do I do next? I need the total labor hours, correct? So what do I need to multiply this with? Okay, number of units produced. Yes? Agree? Similar to earlier, right? Okay, good. So which means, can I know what is my labor hours? Yes? So total labor hours is what? 67,000. Therefore, I can calculate my OAR. Yes? Okay, clear? Now, what's the next step, ladies and gentlemen? Anybody? I need to go back to the per product cost, correct? Okay. So I now know that each product, how did I get 5.67? How did I get this? OAR multiplied by that, correct? Yes? Alright, you got that? Since like earlier. Good. Okay. Now, okay, next step. Can I move the slide now? Yes? Okay. Please protest if I'm moving it too fast. Huh? So now, prime cost was 15. Overhead we calculated. So the product cost is this one, right? Is that the end of our calculation? No. No. What was the requirement? Do not assume. Earlier, the first activity we did was only asking for cost, correct? This activity here is asking for profit. Now, let me give you a tip, ladies and gentlemen. When you see a problem, because you know, you're going to practice a lot on the revision kits, we're practicing a lot in the classroom. When the actual exam comes, do not assume what the examiner is asking you to do. Okay? Since like, calculate. It says calculate the cost. Read again. You understand? Make sure you follow exactly what the examiner. Do not assume what they probably what it's going to say. Read the requirement very carefully. Alright? Because you get used to it. So now I compare the total cost to get to profit. Yes? Now this again is your traditional absorption costing method. We will now use the same information and calculate ABC. Calculate the overhead using ABC, activity-based costing. Okay? All right. So here are more information. Okay? Now, In addition to the original information, the following are also available. Okay? Machining. Okay? In the machining area, these are the activities. So step 1, identify the activities. So the activities are what? Quality control and setup. Okay? So in other words, these all here are your activities. What are all these? Yes, this is your cost pool. Okay. What is 190? 190 was your total overhead cost, correct? You remember that? 190, but they broke it down into activities, right? Okay, good. Okay, the output remains the same, the labor hours is there, the machine hours is there, number of production runs. Oh, what is the third step? So first step was identify the activity, correct? First, step 1. Activity and then the cost pool, right? That's step 1. What is step 2? What is step 2? Look at the step 2 again. Identify the what? Identify the cost driver. Very good. So I will put it as blue. Step 2. What are the cost driver? We have to match it. Yes? Now, it says set up costs. It means that every time they will produce something, they have to set up the machine, correct? That is called a production run. If I'm producing size 8 of the Nike shoe, I have to set up the machine so it will make size 8 of Nike shoe. Do you understand? Okay. So, one of that, producing one quantity of that size 8 is called a production run. But before the machine runs, I need to set it up. I need to calibrate it, put the correct software, put the correct mold, correct? Okay, so tell me, quality control and setup cost. What drives the cost? You have these 3 choices here. Number of production runs, number of component receipts, number of customer orders. Component receipts means they buy the parts from another supplier, so they will receive it. Okay? Customer orders, of course, the number of customers who order. All right. So tell me, you have to match it, huh? Okay. So which one? This one, the driver for the first one is number of production run. Correct. Now, receiving. Number of what? Okay, so if it's receiving goods, the more they receive, the higher the cost, correct? Packaging. You package per customer, correct? So, per customer order, right? Yeah, so you package, you ship per customer, right? So, packaging would be number of what? Number of customer order. So you have identified the cost driver. Yes? What is the third step? Calculate the what? Cost per cost driver. Okay, good. How do I do that? Okay, how do I do cost per cost driver? So first is, how many is the total cost driver? How many production run total? I need to know the total, correct? Yes? How many production runs? 10, 23, 20, 25. I need the total production run. Number of receipts, what's that? 22. Number of customer orders, 60. So if step number 3 says cost per cost driver, what should I do? What step 3. Let me put another color. Step 3. Cost per cost driver. What should I do? Take the what? Cost driver, what should I do now? So the first cost driver is production run. So how do I know how much is the cost per production run? Divide by. Okay, so in this case, give me the first one. What is the cost per production run? What should I do? 90,000, correct? Everybody follow me? Divided by what? 25. Yes? Agree or not? Hello? Hello? Yes. Quality and setup cost. You said earlier that the driver is number of production run, correct? So the cost of that cost pool has to be divided by the cost driver corresponding to it. You understand? Okay. So yes, 90,000 divided by 25. You see? Where's my, okay? 90,000 divided by 25. 30,000 divided by what? 22. 15,000 divided by 60. Yun? Yes? So, what we should do? What should we do? Okay, so cost, material, labor, same. But now, the overheads, we need to work. So what did you just tell me? You have to group. You had identified the cost drivers. Okay? Machine hours, production run, component receipts. Customer order. Okay, so here's the machining cost. How much was the machining cost? Okay. Now, cost per cost driver. Okay. Machining hours per unit. Production, we have total machine hours. Okay, so machining costs. Okay, so OAR per machine hour is there. Sorry, this one should not. Hold on. Okay. Okay, we will need this a little bit later on. Okay? Now. Okay, it's missing. Anyway. Oh, hold on. Why is there something missing? Anyway. Yes, there's something missing on the top. Yes? Sorry, can you make a correction? All these, 90 plus 30 plus 15, is not 190, correct? Yes? There's something missing. Can you make a correction? Sorry about this. What is missing? This one is 55,000, correct? Does it now total to 190? Yes or no? Yes? No? What is it? Why is it no? Yeah, yes or no? Okay. Alright. Okay? Sorry. So therefore, there's something missing. One of them is, what is the cost driver for machine hours? Machining. Machining is number of machine hours. Yes? Okay, now makes sense. Alright? Don't worry, I will save this later on. Everybody's okay? Alright, let's move. Okay, so, as I said, we need to work now. First, I need the cost driver. So we've done that. Step 2. Yes, agree now? Alright. Step 3. Cost per what? Per unit of cost driver. First is machining costs. Okay? So this is your machine hours. These are the total machine hours. So how much was the total machine overhead? Machining? 55? Yes? So therefore, machining cost per product would be what? Yeah? Alright, so you have to multiply this and this, this and this, and that, and that. Yes? Next one. After machining, what is the next? What is the next cost driver? Production run, correct? Yes? Production run, right? So, what is your cost per production run? What did you get? Cost per production run? Anybody? 90 divided by what? 20? Okay, 25. Okay, so production run is 25. So how much per production run? 3,600 per production run. Do you see? Yes? Okay, how many production run for A? 10, 13, and 2. That is given, correct? So now you multiply. Yes? To get to the quality control costs for each product. Alright, sorry. Let me just move one across. Yeah? You remember the machining? What was the machining again? Yeah, these are the machining costs, right? Overhead. We already distributed the cost of 55,000. Now the 55,000 is divided into the 3 products now. Okay? Okay. So, let us summarize that. Machining. Now we have 3 more to do. We have to fill up these 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes? Okay. So now we have to go to quality control setup. So how much? The 90,000 now is divided into these 3, correct? Okay. What's the next one? Yes? OAR for receipts. Component receipts. Yes? Can I move my slide now? Okay. So now, component receipts. These are the component receipts. How much is the overhead for component receipts? 30,000. So the cost per receipt is 1363. Yes? So how much then how do I divide the 30,000 between these three? I need to multiply what? 1363 with what? 10, 10, and 2. Yes? Okay? Is there anything more? Is there one more driver? What's the next driver? More drivers? Not yet. Okay, so everybody is working with me? Okay, next one. Okay, so we finished with receiving. Alright, one last missing, correct? Okay. Now, packaging. Okay, packaging. We'll fill this up in a moment. Packaging. Yes? How do we do packaging? Okay, packaging now. One more. What is the total cost of packaging? Okay, it's equal. Why is it equal? Because it's 15,000 divided by 3, because it's all the same. 20, what is it? Packaging, 20, 20, 20. So all divided cost by 3, correct? Okay. So how much is the total expense of packaging? 15,000 divided by 3, correct? Why divide by 3? Because it's 20, 20, 20. It's the same anyway. Yeah? So they use up the same thing. So this is your total story now. This is now all your overheads using and distributing them based on activity. Do you see now? One by one. It's a little bit longer. Yes, a little bit longer to calculate. So, what happens now? Total for each product. I want to know how much is the overhead per product. What should I do? These are the overheads, correct? You agree? Hello? Is this production overhead? Hey, don't forget, you're only calculating the production overhead part. Yes? Production overheads. Now, these are the overheads per unit. What was the requirement again? We needed to calculate the profit per product, correct? But we needed to know the cost per product using ABC. So which means I need to know what is the overhead for A, B, and C. How should I get there? How should I get to overhead per product? What should I do now? Divide by what? Very good. Divide by the number of units per product produced. Agree. Very good. Don't be shy. Okay? Yes? So now what happened? If I take this divided by 20, what? Yes. That is the overhead per each of these products. You understand? So, how did we get there? Let me just mark it. You take the total divided by this equals that. Yes? Divide equals this. So now, this is your overhead per unit. Is our story complete? Not yet. Why? What do we do now? We have to do what? We have to calculate profit. So we need to put this in the cost, correct? So we have to add, which one do we get from here? The last line here. We need to get it and put it where? You remember the prime cost? Doesn't change, right? Now we add the overhead. Where did we get this? This was from the previous slide. Yes? Then, this is the new cost. Yun? Now remember, it goes into the profit, so we don't stop there. We have to compare with what? Selling price, then we get to the profit, or loss, in this case. So remember, okay, are you ready? Can I change the slide now? Not yet. Is this okay? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, good. Not yet, hold on. I can still see some pens moving. Okay, let's review. You needed to calculate the OAR per cost driver, correct? Yes? Okay, so let us go to your problem. The one that I gave you earlier. Please, go there. You remember this problem here? Yes? Now, what is letter B requirement? Can you go to letter B? Calculate the what? Production cost using activity-based costing. Follow the steps. Remember the steps. What is the first step? Identify the what? Okay, activity and its corresponding cost pool. All right, let's take a look. What was the activities? What were the activities? Okay, do you see the activity? Yeah? Where is it? It's given there. Very nice, isn't it? Yes? Where is the information that you need for your step 1 and step 2? Here. Step 1, and identify the cost driver. Here, the examiner is very nice. The examiner already matched your cost pool, your activity, and your cost driver. So what do you do next? Calculate the what? Cost per cost driver. Yes? Okay. I need to get the cost of each product, this time using activity-based costing. Alright, come on, calculate. Using the steps. Okay. are you calculating now? You don't know. You're waiting for me, then I wait for you. This is supposed to be for you to work. Now, if you're going to always wait for me, then I might as well give it to you. Yes? The whole idea is practice. So tell me, what are you needing to calculate? Step 3. Cost per cost driver, correct? How many cost drivers do you see there? 3. What are the 3? Cost per. What are the 3 cost driver you need to calculate? Cost per what? Yeah? First one is this. You need to know what? Cost per batch. Next one you need. Cost per purchase order, correct? Third one you need. Cost per what? Cost per machine hours. So which means, now the costs are here. Yes? All 3 costs are there. But you need to know number of batches, correct? Number of purchase orders, correct? You have to find it. So, what does it say about batch? What does it say below? Batch size. Because remember, we want to know number of batches, but this 500 is not the number of batches. You know what's a batch? It's a group of something, correct? Okay? So they make the products in groups, right? So the size of each batch is 500. So how many is supposed to be produced for X? 40,000. Is that correct? So if 40,000 has to be produced, each batch is 500, how many batches? How many batches? How many? 14. 40 or 14? 40. Okay, 40 batches. Do you understand? Now, alright, so, how many for Y? How many for Z? Then you have to know how many batches altogether, total. Okay, next one. Purchase order. This one is easy. X has 4 purchase order, Y is 5, so total what? How many? 13, correct? How about machine hours? What is this? This is machine hours per unit. So you need to get and multiply this by your production. Yes? Okay, continue. Go. Do it. Waiting for surprise. Waiting for a gift from heaven. Okay? Work. Okay, so, alright, so we said you need to get the cost per batch per purchase order, correct? Okay, so what did you do? How many batches for the first one you said? Okay, you take that divided by the size per each batch, 40, yes? Okay, so what about Y? Y would be what? 20 and the other is 55, agree? Yeah, so total batches would be how many? Total batches is 115. Is that what you got? Good. Now, the cost per batch. What is it per batch now? What should I do? Let me type it here so you can see. How many is the total cost of machine setup? Overhead. 280 divided by, this time, 115. So how much is it per cost, per batch? 2, 4, yes? 34.78. Agree? Yes? Okay, we need it later on, correct? Okay. Why? Because, alright, I'll show it here. Because now, or the formula will be 280 divided by 115. Yes? Okay, or divide by that. Okay, so we will use that later to actually set up the cost. Let's go to the next cost. Cost per purchase order. What is the overhead for purchase order? Ordering cost. 316 divided by what? How many total? 13, correct? Yes? Okay, so how much is it? 316 divided by 13 is? Okay, am I correct? No, I'm not correct. How many orders? There's something wrong. Number of purchase order, and then what happened? Yeah? Total number of orders. Why? What does it say? It's purchase order per? Oh, per batch. Okay, so which means this is not correct. Yes? This one is number of purchase order per batch. So total is what? Total is, what do I do? Total. I need to take the 4 multiplied by what? By 40. Correct? Agree? Yes, again. What did we do? We said we're going to take the 4 multiplied by 40, correct? Okay, good. So basically, this is the one. Yeah? Yeah, so how many total batches? Oops. What is this? What am I doing in my life? 480. Is that correct now? Yes? Okay. So now we are in line. Okay? All right. I'm sorry. I'm just highlighting it for your purposes. I'm not doing it for the examiner. Do you understand? I'm trying to highlight it so you can see it when you study. Okay? Now, all right. So, how many total? Sorry, it's supposed to be what? 400 and what? 80. So, it's 316,000 divided by 480. Sorry. Yes? Is the cost now correct? Look at the cost. 658.333. Yes? Okay. Alright, next one. Of course, we round it off to the nearest. Okay. Alright, next one. Cost per machine hours. Now, there are 2 costs, correct? What are the 2 costs? Okay, so the total cost is 420 plus what? 361,000, correct? Sorry, 361,400. Divided by what? 1 is the total machine hours. Again, you take the machine hour multiplied by what? Number of units produced, correct? Agree? So what's your total? Okay, so your total is 80,800. Yes? So again, 420,000 plus 361,400 divided by 80. Do we have the same thing? 4 points? There's something wrong. 10. Is this correct? Yes? The same like yours? Yes or no? Alright? So, step 3. Cost per cost driver. Okay? Cost per cost driver. Let me just put it down a bit. Let me finish this. Okay? What's next? What is next? So I need to go product by product, correct? Yes? So, first, for product X. Product X, is that X? Yes? How many batches? Product X, how many batches? 40. Yes? So I need to take 40 multiplied by the rate and assign the cost to the product. Yes? Okay. So what should I do? If I'm using my Excel, tell me the formula. I'm up here. Machine cost now. X, Y, and Z. So what's my formula? X. I take what? 40 multiplied by the rate. Yes? Agreed? Yes? Okay, good. Alright? Now, correct? Is that what we want? Okay. Next one. The same thing will happen for Y. Again, for Y. Okay. Y, we take the number of batches for Y. What is the batches? 10. The rate would be what? The same OAR per driver. Okay. Next one. Z. Number of batches multiplied by the rate. Yes? Okay? Alright. Now, can you continue? How about material ordering cost? What should I do? It's by purchase order multiplied by what? Multiplied by? You multiply by this, correct? Yes? Okay, can you continue? So I need to know how much is the overhead per unit. Okay, so I'll do it as well. Can you work your way to it as well? So here we go. I need ordering cost. So I take, number of purchase order multiplied by the rate per purchase order. Okay. Next one. Y, number of purchase order multiplied by the rate. Next one. Okay? The same thing happens for machine hours, correct? Yes? Alright, machine hours for cost of running and facility cost, which is based on machine hours. So again, the total cost that will go to X will be the total machine hours for X multiplied by the cost per hour. Yes? Okay, so you follow? Does everybody follow? Yes? Okay. I need your confirmation. Otherwise, you're going to be repeating. Okay? Okay, here we go. Forget about, as long as the numbers are there, don't worry about how it looks like. Okay? Alright, so, all these, wrong. So now we have all the costs. What do we do next? Tell me. We need to what? Take the total per product. Yes? Agree? Okay, so what is the total per product? Okay, so this is 492. Can I copy all the way? Okay. Alright, so what do I do now? Okay. I need to know number, cost per unit, right? So what do I have to put in? Number of units. Okay, actually here, it's here. I copy this one and I put it up here. Is that correct? Yes, and then what do I have now? I have overhead cost per unit. Okay? This cost divided by this number of units. This cost divided by, okay? So you have the overhead divided by the number of units. So I'll put it to the 2 decimal places, correct? Okay, so what happens now? I have to take this and put it up here. You understand? Okay, so, alright. Okay, so, what happens now? This is now our cost. Okay? What is the main answer? Okay, this is now our cost here. Okay, let me just take it and make it bigger. Is it the same like in letter A? Can you check what we do in the letter A? Is it the same cost?
Yes.
In absorption costing? Yes? Are you sure it's the same? It's different. It's different, right? It's different. If you were using the absorption costing, the costs were a little bit different than what we have now. Yes? The basis is not the same. Question? We will use this exercise a lot. Okay? Both absorption costing and activity-based costing in conjunction with other techniques. That's why I spend time doing it. Okay? Because you might be asked to in conjunction with other techniques. And if you get this wrong, the rest of your answer is wrong. Okay? Understand? So I need you to be able to calculate overheads. I know it's a repeat or a review, but I hope it's worth the time. Okay? Any questions? Okay? Alright, so I will send this in the Google Classroom to you. Any questions? Let me just tell you the merits. Why is it important to learn this? Okay? Well, first and foremost, the same information that you use in absorption costing, you have it, except that we need to get more detail. It makes more sense in such a way that it's true. The more activities that they do, it adds to the cost. You see, if they purchase more, if they set up more, it actually adds to the cost. So, if a product consumes the activity, it should take a lot of the portion of the overhead. Okay? So that is what the advantages or the merits of this system. Alright? Because why is it that if you analyze cost better, okay, it makes the company able to control the cost. If you know what causes the increase in cost, then you can actually deal with it to reduce it, correct? Okay. So that's what it is. You are able to do cost control. You can actually make decisions. What part of the production process should you cut? Is there something that can be simplified? Because if that activity is not required, you can take it out. Remember, because if the activity adds to the cost and that activity is not adding value to the product, you may take out the activity and reduce the cost. Okay, that's what it means. You take production decision, you can make proper pricing decision. Because now you have more specific costs, more accurate costs. Your pricing is more accurate. Once your pricing is accurate, it's easier to make marketing decisions. Do you understand? Okay. Easier to know which one to sell, which ones to advertise, which ones to discontinue. You never know. You understand? Maybe it's not saleable based on its cost. And you can now analyze which product gives you the highest profit, which one does not. Okay? So you need to be able to do that analysis. Now, those who do not like activity-based costing says, you have to get more information. It's true, right? You have to know how many batches, how many quantity per batch, how many number of orders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, not all companies have this information readily available. Sometimes you have to set up your information systems to collect the data. Okay? You would need to collect the data. And sometimes that additional collection of data in itself is additional cost to the company. Okay? So that's what some people say. They don't like it. Okay? And how do you identify the cost driver? How do you know that the cost driver for setup is production run? How do you know that the cost driver for a cost pool is number of machine hours? How do you know? Yes, you will know, but you need a lot of time to analyze systems, analyze processes to get it done. I had one lady who works with Asia Brewery. You know Asia Brewery? What do they make? The experts have spoken. Okay? Yes, beer. The lady came to me and said, same class like you. Says, how do we analyze this from fixed cost, variable cost? What makes up this? Oh, I said, well, what is your job? She says, I'm in the cost accounting department. Then it's your job. I said, you have to sit down and analyze cost by cost. Take the time to make an analysis. What brings it up? What brings it down? So you need to match what's happening in the production with the cost. So she has to spend time. How do they produce the beer? So no, they need to know which which activity increases the cost. Okay? So she has to do that. So that it takes a lot of time to set up. So that's, just to say, time consuming. It takes a lot of time. And time means money cost, correct? Okay? But it also still, even if you use ABC, there are other expenses that you don't have a way to use a driver. So you still need to know, just divide it by the number of units. Do you understand? So there is still that kind of cost that you cannot say, what is the driver for this? So you go back to how it is absorption costing, right? Okay? Alright, so here we go. So when to use, okay? Benefits and criticism, we have seen that, okay, already. So let's conclude. Okay, so we've done all our exercises. I hope by this time even if your eyes are closed, you can calculate ABC. But of course, don't close your eyes. Okay, so ABC, activity-based costing, is what we did. Okay, to summarize, that's the summary. We said activities actually incur costs. Okay. All right. And remember the formula. Can you tell me again? Step 1. Identify the cost pool and activities. Correct. Step 2. Cost per cost driver. Step 3, total overhead per unit, correct? Then 4, overhead per unit. The same steps, remember those is what you need to do when you see it in the problem in the exam. So in other words, you look for activity, you look for cost pool, then you do the calculation. You agree? Understand? Now, here's what you can do. Alright, so remember, you have to identify the drivers, the process. Look at these mock exams. Question 15 of the September 2016. Okay, so you know how to look for this. How do you know? How do you look for this specimen exam? Where do you look for it? Where do I look for the specimen exam? The December 2016 exam? Where do I look for it? At the ACCA website. Yes? ACCAglobal.com. Alright? And look for learner support. Learning support. Yes? And it says paper-specific materials. Okay? So you explore that website. And then you go, there's a paper F2, then it says past exam. That's what it means. These are past exam. And look for question 11. And it is an example of A, B, C. Alright? Get that? This is what this is telling you here. Okay? So you can actually practice. Alright? And see. Got that? Okay. So raise your right hand and say, I promise. No, just kidding. Alright, you know what to do. Okay? Alright. Any questions? There are two things. It's either you understood well or you understood nothing. Alright, so I hope it's the first one. Okay, so take a break. When you come back, we talk about target costing. Okay? Another costing. Alright, 15 minutes, huh? See ya. See you not tomorrow. See you today after 15 minutes. Okay, go. Yes. Okay. Which part? Machine. Setup. This one? This one? Okay, it's this one here. Setup is this one. Yes? And number and the cost per batch. Agree? No, it doesn't agree. This one here. These two. You find it? Find it? Find it? Yes? It's your number of batches multiplied by this. This is your cost per batch, the red one. Your, then this one multiplied by that. Then this one multiplied by this. Got it? It's already in the Google Classroom. I put this already. You look at it. He said Excel spreadsheet is now on your Google Classroom. Yeah? So you can see the formula. Okay. Did you manage to open it? Huh? Good? Is it okay?
đi đi trước đi và đi là trả lời ra đi đi cho em mà đi em mà không em mà bây giờ chụp là đi cho em có bằng cái lấy em
That's a good idea. To see if I could go to answer yourself. You're still finding your way to different words. This is very versatile and good. So you can, so many things you can do with it. Yes, memorize them. Definitely. First, okay. Okay. The Excel spreadsheet has been uploaded in Google Classroom. Okay. So you might want to look at it. Look at the formula. You may want to create your own. Yes, just as a practice. Okay. Right. Just to make sure that you're able to be comfortable with the Excel spreadsheet. Okay? Good. Good. All right. Let's go to chapter 2B. All right, here we go. 2B is target costing, another costing method. Remember, we are still section A of the syllabus. Okay? Section A. All right. Target costing. Yeah, chapter 2 is weird. It's broken down into A, B, C, D, E. Okay? Chapter 2A, then chapter 2B. Ready? Okay. Target costing. Okay, open your minds now. We learned about absorption costing, activity-based costing. Now there's something different about target costing. Okay? In terms of how we set it up. Alright, so we're going to talk about this, okay, in detail now. And okay, some words that you need to work on. Target cost, of course. Target cost gap. We'll talk about that. Okay. And of course, we will need to know more about target costing, where it is used and how it is used. Okay? So, again, what do you need to learn? You need to be able to know how to calculate target cost. You need to be able to see why is it difficult to set up the target cost in service industries, okay? And suggest how to close the target cost gap. So first and foremost, we need to know what is that gap, okay? And how do we close it? In other words, how do we make sure? I'll show you later, because you're not understanding if you say what I say when you say close, okay? But you understand it a little bit later on. Now, next to activity-based costing, target costing is another kind of specialized cost accounting technique, okay? It is basically used in modern production processes as well. Remember the other one was modern is ABC. Remember? ABC, we use it in modern competitive environment or modern production processes. Okay? Why modern? Because now the products, okay, are mostly redesigned. A car, a telephone, correct? Okay? So they redesign the product to fit what the consumers need. In this case, they will redesign the product to fit what the customers can buy. My microphone is not working. Okay? Alright. So, what is target costing? Okay? It's the process by which we establish the cost, not by starting to know how much is the product we are selling, but we start with how much can the market buy. Alright, let me show you how. Okay? So we need to know how to come up with the target cost, close the gap, and other information. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay? Now, where will you find this in the exam? Okay? Usually the questions they will ask you is to calculate the cost gap. Sorry, in other words, calculate the normal cost of the product, calculate the target cost, and determine the cost gap. Okay? So that's the example question. I'll show you an example of that later on. Okay? The second type of question they will ask in the exam is, why is it difficult to set up target cost in service industry? Number one question. Or number two question, how are the number of ways you can actually close the gap? Okay. Alright, so target costing. What you need to understand is that the cost is determined starting with what the product or the customer can buy. Okay? Now, let me show you here. Traditionally, like we saw in activity-based costing and absorption costing, companies know the cost first, isn't it? That's what we did, right? Know the cost, and then what do? Set up the margin, correct, or the markup, right? And of course, you have your traditionally, that's what we do. It's more internally focused. Internal because we want to know how much our product is, how much we produce, correct? Very much internal. In target costing, this is what happens. First, you determine how much can the customer buy this product, how much money can they spare to buy the car, and then what happens? You say, okay, out of this price that they can buy a car, how much profit do I want to make? You understand? Then what is left? The cost. That is why it's called a target cost. Because you want to make sure you make a product within that target cost. So now, so what is this? This is more, focus is more external, because that's the one thing I started first. I wanted to know what the market can buy, which is external, right? Now, where did this story came from? Yeah? Long time ago. Oh, not very long time ago. This actually happened when Toyota wanted to sell, to be the number one car seller in the USA. Yes? Now, you know Toyota is a Japanese brand, correct? Now, in the US, they have their own US brand. Ford, General Motors, correct? So they have their own, yeah? Okay. So Toyota now said, okay, I want to go into this market and we want to be the number one car seller in the US. So when they went into the market and said, okay, who can buy cars? So they identified that the companies, the people who can buy cars are those who are young professionals. In other words, they just finished college, they have a young family, and they need a car. And they have the money because they're not employed. Yes? So they came to these people, and there are many of them, and said, okay, how much money can you spare to buy a car? Okay? So they determine how much they can buy a car. How much can they spend? Okay, so now they establish the market price, right? Another thing they found out is, okay, if that's the case, what are you looking for in a car? Well, this gentleman or lady said, well, generally, I want a car that is simple, take me to school or take me to the office every day, take my wife and my children to school every day. I need the simple things. I need the power steering because my wife is going to drive it. I need something that is easy to handle, right? I want power windows because I have kids. I want somebody to be able to lock the doors, yes? I want space because I need to put grocery, the children's school bag. Okay? I don't need the beautiful lights. You know how these young ones want beautiful lights or sophisticated, what do you call this? Radio and music system, you understand? With subwoofers and some boom, 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 boom music. Okay? Very simple. These are the things that we want. Okay. So that's what happened to Toyota. They went back. Now Toyota has cars already. Yes, they make cars, right? So what they did is they took one of their models and say, okay, this model costs, let's say, $100,000. Let's say, okay, $100,000 to make. Now, those people in the US said, oh, I can only buy a car at $100,000. Now, $100,000 minus profit, let's say Toyota wants to make 30% profit. So how much is left? Let's say 70,000, correct? Just for easy, yes? So now, the current price of the Toyota car is not price, cost. So in that story, how much is the target cost? 70,000. Very good. But the current is they make is 100,000. Is there a difference between the current cost and the target cost? How much? 30,000. That 30,000, ladies and gentlemen, is called a cost gap. A gap is a hole in the middle, correct? A gap is the difference between the two. Okay? So, what does Toyota need to do? They need to close the gap. In other words, reduce the cost of their current car to go down to 70. Correct? This is the target cost. This is their cost. They have to go down to 70. What do you think they should do? Yes. Correct. They have to go back to the design of the car. Correct? Remember what the customer said, I don't want this, I don't want that, I just want this basic thing. Correct? So they go back to the design, remove what is not essential. Yes? Just still keep it as a very nice car. Okay, it will function. Even lower the engine capacity a bit. You know, the original capacity was 1.6 liters per whatever. Now they lower it to about 1.3 liters. Okay, so still disabled, but by lowering the engine capacity, lowers the need, lowers the cost of the engine, lowers the requirement for other specific, because now it's a lower capacity, then everything can be lowered down. Do you understand? Okay. So they went back to the design of the car. They looked at materials costs. They looked at labor costs. You understand? Okay. So the production process cost. Okay. So what is that cost gap again? It's your target cost, okay, in relation to the estimated cost of the current product. And what are we supposed to do with the gap? They have to close the gap. The gap should not exist, correct? How do they say they will do it? Okay? How do they say they will actually reduce the gap? Okay? They have to go through the product design and processing and how they process improvements. Okay? Product design and how they can improve on the manufacturing process. That's what it means by processing improvements. Okay? Because if you improve on the manufacturing process, maybe it will lower the cost. Okay? Lower the cost. Now, how to close the target cost? Okay. Somebody said earlier, maybe the materials, they need to find a new supplier. Yes? Maybe a supplier that actually sells cheaper, but still the quality is good. Okay. Maybe the design also says that you can change, when you change the design, you actually change it to, for example, lights. Okay. The lights of the car. It doesn't have to be the sophisticated light. It can be the basic lighting. It doesn't have to be the halogen, blah, blah, blah. It can be the simple lighting, okay? Simple bulb, simple system, making it cheaper. Fewer parts. Remove the special speaker, the special bumper, you know? And then just keep it simple. Cheaper labor, yeah? Maybe they need to get it manufactured in a country that has cheaper labor. Eliminate non-value adding activities. In other words, there are activities in the production process you can actually eliminate. Okay? So, which cost is better? Okay? Training. Okay, cost means maybe one of the things you can remove is training of staff, okay, or automation. In other words, automation of your production process. Because sometimes the highest cost in a company is actually labor cost. Okay, so maybe if you automate the process, they can actually, in some processes, they can actually lower the cost. Okay, now. So, which means here, if that's the case, the company needs to know how to control costs. How do they control the cost? They have to analyze which costs can be changed, which costs cannot be changed. Right? They need to analyze which costs are variable, which costs are fixed. Right? The fixed cost can be easily changed, maybe not, but the variable cost may probably can. Okay? And of course, they look at performance of the people or the machines that are processing the product, okay? Because they need more efficiency. In other words, they need to see if the output is more. Because you have more output, the lesser the cost, correct? So, they look at that. Okay? This is a very different approach to the normal costing, because we are used to the cost plus the profit equals the selling price. Okay? Now, performance management focuses on sell more, okay? So that, because now they need to be able to sell more at the selling price that they set. Because the product now is at the selling price that the market say they can buy it, then you can sell better. You understand? Here's the case. If it was the normal way, cost plus profit equals selling price, it's take time to convince a customer to buy your product, correct? Because you're selling at your own selling price. But in this case, the customer themselves said, I can buy at 70,000. So it's a buy at 100,000. So when you go back to that person, here's the car, can you buy it now? He says yes, because he said he can buy it at 100,000, correct? Okay. So you set up targets at a selling price, you can actually sell better, okay? Sell more. By improving processes, you also drive down the cost. I said efficiency. Now, okay? It's very suitable at today's situation. Okay? Why? Because there are short product life cycle, which means people will need to be able to sell the product at the price that the customer can buy. Do you think Apple practices this? They sell at whatever price they want. Isn't it? Okay? They ain't. Right. Why? That's another story, because they bank on the newness of the technology that they come about, right? But they okay? So it's not really good. Even if their product has a short life cycle, do you agree with me? Yes? Apple phones have a very short life cycle. You just bought it. Oops. Somebody is from Apple here. Doesn't like their life. You've just bought the phone. You bought the phone on installment. You have not even finished paying the installment. Already a new phone is out. Such a heartache, isn't it? Okay? Such a heartache. Anyway, that's the story of our life. Okay. Yes. All right. So, what about service? If I'm selling a service, what is an example of a service? Can you think of one? Insurance. Okay. Good job. Selling insurance. Okay. Okay. Selling insurance. Huh? Audit firm. You sell a service, correct? Okay, tell me. Let's see the audit firm. It's easy to understand. Insurance, a little bit difficult. But yes, it is service, correct? Are you working with an insurance company? Come and see me later. Okay. What's the problem with service? Because remember, in target costing, I can go back and redesign my product, correct? In this case, the service has the following characteristics. First, it's simultaneous. What does it mean? You produce and consume at the same time, correct? At the process of cutting the hair, you're doing service at the same time it's consumed, correct? You cannot take it home. Yes? You cannot put it on the shelf in the warehouse. Right? Second, and heterogeneity. In other words, the way I do audit with your company and I do audit with your company, even if it says audit, the process, the work is different. Yes? Because two different companies, two different sets of transactions. The barber, the way they cut your hair is different from the way he cuts his hair, her hair. Yes? Heterogeneity. The product is not standard. The service is not standard. Yeah, it depends on the hair, right? Intangibility. You cannot touch the process of cutting hair, correct? You cannot touch the process of audit. There is a what you do, but when you say audit, can you touch? This is audit, ladies and gentlemen. Can I do that? No. You understand? There's nothing, right? So, and it's perishable. Once I've done it, it's gone. I cannot keep it in the warehouse. Right? It's gone. So question is, how do I use target costing in service industry? Because remember, I have to go back and I can redesign the product and reduce the cost. Difficult?
Yes.
A little bit difficult because there is no redesign. Okay? There is no redesign. Okay? Okay? First, measurement of cost is very difficult. Okay? In service, the material cost is very minimal. The most of things that are done that you sell is actually done by people. You don't have materials to actually reduce the cost. Okay? And service is different from time to time. Every customer receives a different set of service. So it's not the same. It's very difficult. Okay? So I need you to remember this. Okay? First, it's very difficult to measure the cost of the service. Okay? Very difficult. In other words, the process of giving the service. How much will you cost it out? It's very difficult. If no materials are used in the process of the service, it's very difficult to determine how to reduce it because it's all labor. Okay? Service is different. The type of service is different for every customer that you provide the service to. Okay? Now, all right. We talked about how to calculate the target cost. How did we say it is calculated? Look for the selling price. Deduct the what? Desired profit, and you have the target cost. What is the cost gap? Your target cost minus your existing cost at the moment. Yes? Got that? Okay. You need to remember this slide too. Okay? Remember this. Now, question. Can you answer me this? Estimate cost is what your cost of your product now. Yeah, it's estimated cost because maybe you either it's estimated cost or current cost, whichever it is. Because there are times that your product is not yet produced, but you only have a planned cost. You have a budgeted cost to make your product. Budgeted, correct. Estimate, budget. Good question. Alright? Okay. Which of the following may be used to close the target cost gap of product P? Tell me, what is your choice? Mm-hmm. Any idea? So everybody understood the question? Yes? Okay, so, alright, answer? Okay, very good. The answer is letter B. Okay, substitute with the cheaper version. Okay? Okay, so there. Alright, so substitute the current raw materials with the cheaper version. Alright? Why not reduce the cost of the premises? It's very difficult because it's more fixed, correct? It's more fixed cost. That you can do that later, yes. It's an option, but it will not have an immediate effect. How about this? What is the target cost gap? Sorry, what is the target cost, not the gap? What is the target cost? Per unit. What's the formula? Selling price minus desired profit. Okay? Which one? A, B, C, or D? Answer? D. As in boy or doy? Which one? Boy or doy? Doy. Okay. Boy or doy? Yes. Okay. So, selling price basically. How much they want to sell? 550, correct? How many units? 800. So basically, if I take this way, 1 second, bear with me. So total revenue is what? Yes? What is the profit they want? 30% on which investment? Okay, the investment for this product is 500, which means they want to make a profit of how much? 150. So which means whatever is the cost, target cost left is how many? 290. How many units did they want? How many units do they want to sell? 800. So that one is 362.50. Agree? Yes? Okay? Understood here? Okay, so let's do a summary. Okay? So this chapter will talk about target costing. It's what? It's actually setting up the cost, but we start with the what first? The selling price. Okay? So target cost, you take the selling price less the desired target cost. What is the gap again? A gap is what? The difference between what and what? The target cost and the estimated cost or expected cost of the product. Okay? Now, target costing is very good for what? For the current modern complex production process, correct? Or the more modern products that is produced. Why? It also is suitable for products with very short life cycle because you want to make sure that you sell a lot of what you have produced. Do you understand? Okay. Otherwise, the life. You know what is the life cycle, by the way? What is the life cycle? How do you understand the life cycle? Because I say life cycle. What does it mean, life cycle? From the time of what? Yeah, from purchase, consume. What is the life cycle of a product? What is your life cycle? Yeah, from the time you were born until you die. That's your life cycle, correct? Okay. In products, the time of development until you discontinue it, correct? Now, some products are very short, especially technology products because technology change, correct? So if you want to make a product, you want to make sure that you sell it, right? So target costing is best because you have to know how much the customer can buy, yes? And then you make your product accordingly. You understood? Okay. Example, as I said, that life cycle of a new phone or a computer may only be 1 year before a new version comes. So you make a product that sells fast because they told you how much they can buy. Okay? And you work towards that. Target costing in service industry, difficult or not? It's more difficult because you cannot really cost the service itself. And there is no design that you do beforehand that you can redesign the product. Yeah. Good. Excellent. Aha! Where did this question come from? Again, you look into your ACCA Global. You understand? Okay. Now, before you go, I have a gift for you. Give me an ice cream. Excellent, huh? I have a problem where you need to calculate the cost gap for me. Okay? Alright, so I'll give it to you and I'll explain to you in a moment. Okay, no thanks, huh? You don't like my gift, huh? Excellent. Okay. Take a look very quickly. You and your study buddy. You don't like your study buddy, isn't it? Alright, here we go. When you receive the paper, go to the second page. Go to the second page. Look at requirement C. Yes? What does requirement C say? Calculate is the verb. You are to calculate the what? The cost of the radio, estimated cost, and then identify the cost gap. So you need to look for two things. The cost of the product, estimated cost, and the target cost, so that you will know the gap. Now, where does this problem start? It starts in first page. You see the first page? After A and B? Now, at A and B, you can answer that later. You see this selling price here? You see that? Yeah? That second part belongs to letter C. What does it say? The selling price of 44 has been set in order to compete with a similar radio in the market. So 44 is your selling price that the market can buy, correct? Then, what do they want as margin? They want 20% margin, correct? No, remember there's a difference between a margin and a markup. The margin is based on what? The selling price. Okay? Markup is based on cost. Okay. Now I can say you know what to calculate. So two things, huh? You have to know the target cost, and then you need to know the estimated cost. The following information in the second page are the information about the cost of this new radio. Alright? So this information here allows you to calculate the cost of the radio. Then, give me the target cost. Gap. Okay, target cost, estimated cost, target cost gap. Yun? Okay, put Excel spreadsheet, please. Yes? No manual calculation. Excel spreadsheet. Okay? Alright, so I will put this on the Google Classroom. You can submit or whatever you like over there. Okay? You can get your study buddy to check your work. Don't do the Excel spreadsheet. Oh, let's do this together. No. It's not a party. Yes, the study buddy is not a party. It's an independent work, and you check each other's work. You got that? It's not an opportunity to go partying, huh? Okay? Got that? Clear? February 2. Correct? What is February 2? Is our next class. So, chapter 2D. Then we go to chapter C and E. 2C, 2E. I will post the handout on the Google Classroom so you can read it in advance. Good? Any question? Hasta la vista, everybody. See you on February 2. February 2. You come back in November, to B. Any extra 2Bs anywhere? To be handout? Handouts for chapter 2B. 2B. And three of the activities. Chapter target posting activity. Three copy of the 2B handout. And 3 copies of the target question Okay, please love me. Okay, can you wait for a few minutes? It's going to make up, okay? Yes.